Hi, I'm Faith Jarvis.
And I'm Jonathan Harris.
And we are talking about the absolute state of it. Now, I want to talk about the Welsh elections. So Wales have voted, majority of Wales voted Labour, Welsh Labour, for 122 years, which I think is absolutely ridiculous that a country can vote Labour every election for 100 years, right? Yeah. But we got the Welsh elections coming up, and I honestly don't think that Welsh Labour are going to be voted in the Senedd, majority. I think Keir Starmer's got a lot to thank for that. Yeah. So I'm thankful to Keir Starmer for screwing up Welsh Labour. Wonderful. But I think we've got a very real problem on our hands, is that Welsh people will vote for Plaid Cymru. Yeah. Because I think there's this misinformed thinking that Plaid Cymru are for Welsh people, and I can tell you now, they're absolutely not. They're going to annihilate our culture if we vote for them. I mean, what's your take on it?
Yeah, similar thing. I think if you take the dress off Labour, you will find Plaid Cymru underneath.
Yes.
They're pretty much the same. They got dangerous views for our country, I think. Yeah. Especially, like you said, to take our culture out. They do have things like the Welsh language, bringing back the Welsh language and stuff in their manifest. Yeah. Which I'm all for. I'm not a Welsh speaker myself, but I do believe that we should bring back the Welsh language. But that's not enough. No. Having that in your manifest is not enough to the dangers that they bring in every other aspect.
Right, and I do think the Welsh language is part of our culture, right? And how lovely would it be should everybody be able to speak Welsh? But what they've done, what Labour have done, I should say, over the last 100 years is create a nation of multiculturalism. Now, how does that fit in with having Wales speak Welsh? You see what I mean?
Yeah,
we multiculturalism. So you have the North Wales that are predominantly Welsh speakers. It's the South working class townships, really. There are a few cities around here that are multicultural, more diverse. Yeah. Where does the Welsh culture sit within that multiculturalism?
Yeah, I think it'd be more family orientated, sort of, be able to sit with your family and speak Welsh. I don't think it should be the most dominant language, because like you said, we're at a point now of we're too far for the Welsh language to come back and the old country speak it. But I think it would be nice for Welsh families, to sit down, speak in Welsh, like their heritage, and I think that would be a beautiful thing for Wales.
That's it.
But like I said, everything else in the manifest is just not good for us.
No, well, they want to promote Islam over Christianity. Yeah. There was this whole, in one of the debates I watched, about halal meat, wanting to have halal meat put into all of the schools, wanting to teach the children how to do the prayers of Islam, but yet we can't say the Lord's Prayer in our schools. Our culture as Welsh people, and a lot of Welsh people probably don't know this, is Welsh revivals. Now, Welsh revival is when there's an outpouring of the leading of God upon the nation, and thousands become followers of Jesus. This happens every 100 years or so. The last one for us was 1904, right? Where 125,000 people became converts of Christ, right? Now, this happens in Wales for some reason every 100 years. We have more revivals in Wales than any other country in the world, right? Yeah. So we have a foundation of Christianity in Wales. It's part of our very fabric, right? It's part of who we are. When I grew up as a kid, before all this multiculturalism started coming in, it was part of our assembly to sing hymns, to say the Lord's Prayer, to do all of that stuff. By the time my sons went to school, they weren't allowed to. You had to be careful what to say. You couldn't tell people the gospel. Couldn't say the word Jesus. Even in the religious education classes, they would teach on everything else, very little about Christianity, right? And I think if we understood as Welsh people our language is as important as our religious leanings.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand. But the problem is with the Welsh language, if we make that, like what Plaid want to do, the predominant thing in Wales, we are ostracising the majority of Wales. And they want to promote multiculturalism, but you can't do the two.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. And I think this is the problem with Plaid. Everything they say doesn't make sense. They contradict themselves all the time. So what we're going to have is a confused Wales.
Yeah. Like the word multicultural should be multicultural, but it's completely discriminating against Christianity. So are you multicultural or do you dislike Christianity?
Right.
And we're at that point at the minute. I was speaking to my friend's daughter. She was in school not so long ago, and the teacher asked if anybody was Christian, and she put her hand up and she was the only one in the classroom. And then the teacher asked her, why is she Christian? Like, why not?
Yeah.
You know, why wouldn't I be Christian?
Right.
And it's kind of, it's being outcast. And I'm for multicultural as well. I'm not against any religion personally.
No.
As long as everyone's peaceful and happy, then that should be the main thing of Britain.
Yeah.
But we're not happy and we're not multicultural. So where do we draw the line?
But this is a problem. I think we need to decipher in Wales what is part of our culture. Now, culture comes from tradition, right, as Welsh people. So we have to look at our traditions again, because we've thrown out a lot of our traditions for the modern world. And I don't think that is entirely good for people. I think it's important, like you said, the tradition of a family sitting around and having a meal and talking in Welsh to each other. Beautiful tradition. We should encourage that. People going to chapel on a Sunday morning, where all the shops were shut. As a kid, I remember there was no shops open. It forced the family to sit together, to be together on a Sunday morning.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. And I think we should encourage that. That's part of our heritage. Chapel in the morning is part of our heritage. Although I don't get up for chapel, I go in the afternoon. But you get my gist, do you know what I mean? So there are things in Wales that have been established as traditions hundreds of years. I think if we are going to see Wales survive and maintain who we are as a nation and a people, we need to maintain our traditions, right? Yeah. One of them is our Christmases, right? We're not chucking out Christmas just because it offends. Yeah, Easter. Why aren't the kids celebrating Easter anymore? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's bizarre to me, but they'll promote Halloween in the schools.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And they promote the Festival of Eid, but they won't promote Easter. Yeah. You're not even able to say the word, even though it's a pagan word. You can't say it because it's related to Christianity. It blows my mind.
But do you think now that we're at the point of no return, or what can we do to revive it politically?
Do you know, I believe if you want to be political right now, for Christians I'm talking to especially, go to church. Find a church that's not willing to shy away from speaking out and go there. Go to church, because it'll change the narrative of our country and our landscape of our country if people start going to church. Read your Bible. I don't care if you believe or not.
Yeah.
That's your deal. But read it, right? If you want a good moral compass, read your Bible, because there's good moral things in that word that you need to live by, that creates a good society. Yeah. Right? So there's things together people can do straight away. You can wake up tomorrow morning and do that. On Sunday, you can go to church, go to a Bible study, talk to a priest, talk to a minister, talk to a pastor. Right? Those are things that can change the political landscape now. But if you're waiting for a party, a perfect party to come along, political party, to align with all of your thinkings, you're going to be waiting thousands of years. Yeah. It's never going to happen. But what you can do now is look at who is the most moral party. Who is the one that's fighting for Britain? Yeah. Who's the one that's fighting for Welsh people to maintain our traditions and our cultures? Yeah. And I can tell you now, it's not Plaid Cymru. No.
Have you ever had a political party turn up to the church?
Not a political party, no.
So they have no interest at all in the Christian community? No, because one of the first steps they could take is going around to the churches and getting the views of you know, the Christian community.
Yeah.
But they're just not interested.
No. Well, I don't understand how
But
you can be...
they're fully interested in getting all the Muslim votes.
Well, this is the thing. This is it. Because if they can get the Muslims, as they know, this is how most other religions work, but not Christianity, is that when a few leaders in that community say you have to vote a certain way, they will all vote that way.
Yeah.
Christianity goes, this is the truth, you choose. Now, they don't want that, political parties. It's like, well, no, you need to tell them and dictate to them what we want you to do. And that's what you get in other religions, but not in Christianity. So to them, we're not... You know, you can go down the road to another church and they're all leftists, right? They vote Labour. They're a Labour church. And they say they're a Labour church. They will not divert out to that, right? You've got other churches that are Welsh-speaking churches. So they Plaid, right? They Plaid through and through, right? I want churches where you get a bunch of people going, I'm not anything. I'm for what is right. What party right now is fighting on behalf of Christianity, for Welsh people, for our traditions, for our culture, and vote for them. Do you know what I mean? That's what I want in. And to be quite honest, you know, and I don't mind saying it, I'm not for any party, because I think they're all from Oxford, Cambridge. You know? Do you know what I mean? They're from the same pool of people, right? But the only ones that I can point at right now and say, well, they're aligning with the Word of God more, not completely, but more than any other party is Reform.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the community are thinking that themselves now.
Yeah.
I think everybody is tired.
Yeah.
Everybody is just fatigued with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've got to ask yourself sometimes, a Reform just play into that and saying what they know everybody wants to hear as well.
Right.
So this is, like I said, the church down the road is completely Labour. What a dangerous way of thinking.
Yes.
You know, we're Labour and that's it. Well, so are you not looking for any other better options?
Right.
Is there no options on the table? You just vote Labour. No matter what the Labour put on the table, you are voting for them. What a dangerous way to think.
Well, it was my great-grandmother who said to my mother, said she was a Conservative. And she said, even if the Conservatives put a monkey as a leader, she'd vote for him. That's the mindset. They don't care. They don't care about the policies and everything. And I think this is why we've got to do and speak out about stuff like this. Is because we've got to encourage people to start voting again, but intellectual voting, not voting based on what their parents voted for, or voting according to media, which is hugely dangerous. You know, don't watch the media when it comes to voting. Go to these parties' pages. Read what their manifestos are, right? And once you've read what they are, don't believe it. Right? See what is coming out of their mouth. Watch the debates. All of these things are broadcast. You can easily get the truth, right? So I would encourage people, go and do that now before you start thinking about voting. Right? We saw what happened in Caerphilly not long ago, whereas it used to be Labour, they voted Plaid. Reform was so close, right? And I think this is going to be the danger in Wales, is that a lot of people are fed up and will vote Reform, but a lot of people will vote Plaid, not realising the agenda that is underneath them, purely because Plaid Cymru is a Welsh title.
And like Plaid Cymru have never really been in question. They've never really been in the race.
No.
So now they've got a moment, and that's kind of being blown up in the media.
Right.
So that's another dangerous thing. We'll get other people to vote. Oh, Caerphilly voted Plaid. Now we need to vote Plaid.
Right.
And it kind of, you know, it kind of goes into a circle and a vicious circle, which what happened with Labour.
Yeah, and that's the danger zone for us. And I think from now until the election, Welsh people have to wake up. We have to wake up, and we have to count ourselves important in the grand scheme of things as well. We're the only country in Britain that has a prince, right? There's something in our history that is innately important to the British Isles, right? And we have to recognise that we are important in this vote. I think a lot of Welsh people, false humility. You know, we think lower of ourselves. because, we can't be proud, see, we can't proud. No, we should be proud. We're proud and we're Welsh. And I think that has to come back to our nation again, so that when we are voting, we vote in based on pride, so that we could tell people openly, rather than going, oh, not telling you what I voted for.
Yeah.
No, I voted for so-and-so.
Own it.
Own it, because I knew what I did. And I'm willing to stake my life on it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a bunch of people going to the vote saying, I'm willing to die for what I'm voting for right now. If we had that type of integrity as Welsh people, we'll change the UK.
Yeah.
Right? And so that this is our kind of encouragement to our nation. And I love Wales with every fibre of my being.
Yeah.
But we encourage you, be educated in what you're doing and have a level of integrity in your vote that says you're willing to stake your life on it.
Yeah. And I think, like, going off what you just said, other political parties, we do get kind of forgotten about, you know, and I think people are scared of that still. They see Plaid Cymru on paper.
That's it.
Oh, they must be for Wales, you know, because we've been forgotten about. Reform, they think is not for us, and Labour haven't been for us for the last 100 years. Why they keep getting voted in, I don't know.
I know.
And then I think people are so scared of that. They see Plaid Cymru, they see the daffodil. Oh, that's Wales, so that's what I'll vote for. Without looking into the manifest.
So, and if you're voting for Labour, you may as well vote for Conservatives, as they say.
Yeah, just take a dress off Labour. And
exactly, it's just different colours, same people. So, we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
That was the conversation.